Hello everybody and welcome back to this video. Today we're going to do the 2022 House election prediction between the Democrats and the Republicans. On your screen right now is the consensus map, but I'm going to be changing quite a lot of those states around. So be sure to watch towards the end to see who I believe will win the House of Representatives. We still have 100 seats left to be redistricted, but otherwise we'll get right into today's video. Starting with Alabama, nothing really there, nor out of Alaska. Arizona, we do have a few interesting cases here. In Arizona, the 4th district is a lean because, in my opinion, because the district is only D+1 on 538, while the 2nd district is a R+15 district, making it a likely seat, in my opinion, because there is an incumbent in a seat where it is still considered a R+6 seat in the previous election, and the Democrat was able to win it, but in a much worse national environment for the Democrats, it will be a lot tougher for the Democrats to win that seat. The 1st district, it will be a similar story with a Republican incumbent. California is an interesting state, and this state is truly a state that I have to look at the 538 forecast. 538 website. If we zoom in here, first of all, we have a lot of these seats that voted for Biden by big margins that have Republican incumbents, like the 22nd district, like the 27th district, like the 45th district. So I'm going to be 45th district. So I'm going to be basically filling all these seats out. 42nd district. With David Valadao, I think he will win re-election because of the national environment. And there won't be a presidential election on the ballot, which means this race could be more Republican-leaning. Going to the 13th district, I give that a tilt towards the Democrats because it is a D+6 district. Now we look at the 27th district with Mike Garcia. Mike Garcia, I think, will indeed win his re-election. If we zoom into the area of Los Angeles, really there are a few more competitive districts. Katie Potter's district, first of all, it is a D+6 district in the Los Angeles area, but I do believe the Democrats have a chance of winning this district. The Republicans have a chance of winning this district. Young Kim is a likely seat. Michelle Steele, I believe, will be able to win re-election. And Katie Potter could indeed lose re-election. I'm going to give that a tilt seat towards the Republicans, given the national environment. Going to Colorado here. In the state of Colorado, the 8th district should be a likely seat for the Republicans, considering the national environment, and on 538 is an R+3 district, while in the 7th district, I think with the incumbent Democrat there, this district has been made far more competitive, and therefore I give it a tilt towards the Republicans. If you so far like this video, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a lot of great content like this, so be sure to check those videos out and subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell so you make sure that you never miss another one of my videos. Now going to the state of Connecticut here, I think the 5th district will be more competitive, and the 2nd district, both of them are D+2 and D+3 districts, and I should expect them to be pretty tight, but both of them have Democratic incumbents. Both of them overperformed basically 538's average, so I'm going to give those seats towards the Democrats. Next state, the state of Georgia, with basically only 2 even mildly competitive seats. And I believe in the end there's really just going to be one even mildly competitive seat, because this district, basically the 6th district, is not going to be competitive. R+24, it's probably going to be safe. Now if we look at the 2nd district here, there is a Democratic incumbent, though, and he won re-election by a pretty handedly margin, despite the district being only D+6. But in a much worse national environment, this district should tighten up slightly. Now going to the state of Illinois, we have a humongously horrible Democratic gerrymander. If we look at a lot of these districts, the 13th district, the 17th district, these are very ugly districts. They're designed to pack the Republicans in these 3 Republican seats, where Democrats basically, they gather just enough support to make a blue district in the 13th, a slightly bluer district in the 17th, and a blue district in the 14th. But I believe this map, in a really bad Democrat environment could end up going toward the Republicans. First off, I'm giving the 17th district without an incumbent there. The incumbent is going to retire a lean Republican seat. Next up, I will give the 13th district a tilt toward the Democrats. There is no incumbent in this race as well. I think this district should be just enough to give their votes toward the Democrats. Though a much worse year for the Democrats, they would barely be able to win the seat. The 11th district, I give that as a lean seat, while the 14th district, I give that a tilt seat. Going to the state of Indiana, nothing really there. In the state of Iowa, I think these three characterizations are fairly good. For the 3rd district, I give that a lean Republican seat. Republicans should have gerrymandered the state, but the law basically says you can't, because you cannot split counties, and this is the map Iowa has produced. Kansas, I think, just recently announced their new map. In the 3rd district, Serene Davids is a pretty good Democratic candidate. Not to deny but the map is in litigation. You might not be able to see the district on your screen right now. The district is 7 points redder, and therefore I do give this race a lean toward the Republicans. Kentucky, Louisiana, and the state of Maine, Jared Golden, in a pretty Republican seat, should lose his re-election bid. Maryland, I think this district right here, in the 6th district, yeah, that one's probably going to be likely for Democrats, not safe, while the 1st district should be likely for the Republicans. Massachusetts, Michigan, we have 3 competitive toss-up seats in the state of Michigan, and we also have the 10th district, which is open. That open seat, I do expect them to go towards the Republicans. And the squished out incumbent is Andy Levin, who was squished into 11th district. He probably will lose the primary against Haley Stevens. If we look at the 7th district, Elisa Slotkin, her district probably goes red, considering if we look at the partisan lean of that district. Let me take a look at the state of, not Maryland, the state of Michigan. Here we go, the state of Michigan with its with its districts. Let me see. So in Michigan, it's in litigation. Those highly unlikely going to be dropped. This map. Then Kinley definitely has a better chance of winning than Elisa Slotkin, as Elisa Slotkin has a 3-point more Republican district. However, she was in a R+6 district. She'll be in a R+4 district. May not be bad news for her. Going to the 5th district is 2 points redder. However, I do believe the incumbent there should be able to win re-election. Though for the 7th district, I do believe the incumbent there will lose re-election. Going to the 3rd district here. We can see that in the 3rd district, with a partisan lean of Democrat +3, this district had a Republican lean +9 previously. However, given the national environment and the not so favorable and an incumbent Republican in this election, actually there was not an incumbent in 2020 in the House election of the 3rd district. Now it does have a Republican incumbent, so I'm going to give that district towards the Republicans. In the state of Minnesota, this is a pretty interesting race. In the 2nd district, this could shape out the entire, basically, House elections. This is a very interesting district. It has some Republican, rural areas. It has some suburban areas. It also has some urban areas. Very much like traditional America. If Republicans flip this district, they should have a very large wave. While if Democrats hold on to this district, the Republicans will only experience a mild wave. In the end, though, this is a very interesting district. Again, actually, the 3rd district, I'll give that as a likely seat for the Democrats, not a safe seat. But in the 2nd district, I do expect the Republicans to be able to flip the district. Going to Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, really nothing in a lot of these districts. Nebraska 2nd, Don Bacon should be able to win. I mean, he's in a 3-point redder district. Also, in the 2020 election, the opponent for Don Bacon in 2018 actually endorsed him, which is quite interesting. In the state of Nevada, a dummy matter here, 3 Democratic leaning seats here. I think at least one of them is going to lose re-election. First of all, in the Titus, I believe, I mean, she's not a strong incumbent, and therefore I believe she's probably losing re-election. Now I want to look at the Nevada map before I go any further. Yeah, in Nevada, the most Democratic seat is this D+5 seat. I do believe that seat will go blue for the Democrats by a tall margin, but the 3rd district, I do believe that district will also go red for the Republicans. Going to New Hampshire here, nothing out of New Hampshire. New Jersey, this is pretty much, not a very good map, but, not a very good characterization, but to be fair, there aren't much really competitive seats in the state of New Jersey. I do believe the 7th district will be likely. Going to these 2 districts, they'll probably be lean, although they should not be overwhelmingly competitive. Going to the 3rd district, in the upstate area, I do give that actually as a tilt for the Democrats. It's probably not as likely seat for the Democrats. Going to the 2nd district of New Mexico, that district probably still remains in the Republican column pretty substantially. In the state of New York, they also just recently announced the districts. The districts may get sued, and it is getting sued, but chances are it's probably not going to be struck down. Yeah, it's in litigation. We do have a few competitive seats that I want to really cover about in this map here. First of all, I think Lee Zeldin could, retiring to run for governor. Lee Zeldin may not, because it's an open seat, it's going to be a lot tougher for the Democrats here. It's going to be a lot tougher for the Republicans. I do believe Nicole Milowski probably ends up winning her seat just very narrowly, given the national environment. Alright, so going to Long Island here in this area, these 2 districts probably going to go blue, but just looking at their margins, this district probably goes lean. As for the 1st district, I could go either way with that district, but I know none of you guys really want me to leave the district as a toss-up. I give it to the Republicans just slightly. If you look at full size upstate, John Katko is not running for re-election, and that's why I think he will lose. If he runs for re-election, he might actually win in this deep blue seat, but he's not running for re-election. I think these 2 districts should be a little bit more competitive than they are rated, but yeah, I think possibly Sean Patrick. Actually, I think Sean Patrick Monopoly may actually lose re-election, but otherwise, though, New York did a pretty good job at gerrymandering, and I cannot change any more districts. For a straight few states, we don't really have anything to talk about. Now we are go to the state of Oregon. Oregon, I think the 6th district should be able to flip, considering there's no incumbent, and also the district is pretty decently competitive. With now an incumbent here, that will be a crucial factor that the Democrats end up actually losing this district. Kurt Schrader, also in a pretty tough district here, he should win, but it's going to be a more competitive district than people may expect. I don't think there's much to talk about. Right now speaking, the Republicans are ahead by 1 single seat, and that brings us to Texas, which is the final state that still has quite a few districts to be decided. In the 23rd district, Tony Gonzalez should win re-election, and I think actually the rest of these characterizations are pretty solid on their behalf, because there's not really any competitive districts in the state. Alright, so the state of Virginia, the 7th district, Abigail Spangenberger probably wins, and I will give that district towards her. But in the 2nd district, I think the Democrat there in the Virginia Beach area, you saw how Glenn Youngkin was able to drive up insanely the amount of turnout and the amount of votes, and I do think the Republicans will end up winning that district. It's a pickup. But for the state of Washington, honestly, it's a toss-up district in the 8th district, and that is why I believe the Republicans should be able to flip a toss-up seat. West Virginia, there aren't really any seats on West Virginia. Wisconsin, no map out of the state of Wisconsin. Wait a minute, I think previously they did have a map, if I'm correct here, for the state of Wisconsin. They did it just repeal their map? I really don't know, alright. I'm not very educated, but yeah. So this is the ending map here. With exactly 100 seats left to decide, the Republicans have a 3-seat advantage. That being said, the remaining seats are pretty much going in favor of the Republicans. Florida Republicans should be able to net 5 seats. Louisiana 4 seats. The state of Missouri maybe 5-6 seats. Ohio, the Republicans should be able to net 5-6 seats there. Wisconsin, the Republicans should net 3-4 seats. In the state of Pennsylvania, Republicans should be able to at least tie the Democrats. North Carolina net about 3 or 4 seats. Rhode Island, they should lose probably 2-0, but New Hampshire is going to be a 1-1 split. Overall, Republicans probably win the House by 20-30 seats. And anyways, that concludes this video. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Probably more than 20-30 seats, actually maybe 35 seats. Up on the upper end of 35. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.